Good day to you. Thanks for choosing KLTV for your local news service, and welcome from me, Dave Hodgson, to the latest edition of KLTV News. The headlines. The Yorkshire Air Ambulance is needed to ferry a Milnsbridge man to hospital for urgent treatment. Poorer Kirklees people may suffer as the Bank of England struggles to cope with the devalued pound following Brexit. David Cameron in deep trouble over his final honours list. Residents of Golcar and Moldgreen are fed up with refuse bin trouble. And local lad Tyrone Nurse wins the second defence of his boxing crown. The Yorkshire Air Ambulance had to be used to ferry a Milnsbridge man to hospital. Emergency services were called to Armitage Road on Saturday noon. It's understood that a gathering or party was taking place at a terraced house on Armitage Road, and some kind of fracas broke out, which spilled out onto the street. The victim, a 21-year-old man, suffered what is believed to be puncture wounds to his neck. He was airlifted to Leeds General Infirmary. His injuries have been described as non-life-threatening, and he is now recovering in hospital. The poorest people in Kirklees may suffer even greater poverty if the Bank of England decides to cut interest rates this week due to the ongoing Brexit problems. Mark Carney's alternatives are another cut in the all-time low of 0.5% interest or more quantitative easing. That's just printing more money than is taken out of circulation to you and me. Both are flawed. Lowered interest rates are good for borrowers but bad for savers, and quantitative easing could lead to runaway inflation. Now, check up on your history of Germany in the 1920s to see what catastrophes that can bring. The USA is ahead of the UK in adopting both these policies, but the unintended consequences are the rich got richer, the poor got poorer, and the dollar slid to an all-time low on the currency market. The Bank of England is confident poorer families will prosper more, but at best it would be a long time coming and, like Germany and the US, may backfire. Meanwhile, Prime Minister Theresa May has turned down any intervention with outgoing PM David Cameron's honours list. An uproar's blown up due to the allegation he has created a cronyist charter, awarding all the honours to Tory donors, personal advisors, rogue bankers, and even his wife's hairdresser. It comes amid Jeremy Corbyn and other MPs from both sides of the House that, quote, gongs for mates should be revoked immediately, and the old system of rewarding people who have achieved for the good of the nation rather than political favours. In reply, Number 10 has stated it believed that all the fuss is just due to other people's jealousy.
However large or small your business, attracting new customers requires dedication and a lot of patience. Just like fishing, but you also need the right gear. Rods,
reels, lines, hooks, sinkers, lures, tackle box, tackle bag, net, bait, gas gloves, clothes, pocket knife, lunch.
Or you could simply advertise with KLTV. Online, grow your business and your clientele. KLTV, your vision made reality. Should have gone to KLTV.
Local news and residents of Scar Lane in Golcar are up in arms at bin men not emptying their black or green refuse. Festering waste is piling up and locals say the situation is getting out of hand. The reason given by refuse operatives is that cars are parked on the road and there isn't enough width to get their truck into the area. Residents say they've contacted Kirklees Council over 4 weeks ago but haven't had a response and cannot understand why the refuse collectors are reluctant to walk up the road and bring the bins to the truck. Locals say they are then given other excuses as to why the bins cannot be emptied. A council spokesman told KLTV that they have now changed the collection points to avoid any access duties. Meanwhile, complaints regarding lazy householders in School Street, Moldgreen, are still unresolved. Other locals are complaining that bins are left permanently on the pavements, and with the majority of the street used as a curbside car park, it's often impossible to use the pavement. Keep watching for more on this. Sport and hometown British light welterweight champion Tyrone Nurse has retained his crown, beating Hull's Tommy Coyle on points and facing a hostile, raucous crowd, and with the bookies offering odds against him. Nurse won by a unanimous points decision. A slow starter, Nurse was on the back foot for the first 3 rounds, being neutralised by Coyle's all guns blazing head-on attacks. But slowly, Nurse regained his composure and his languid but accurate style wore down Coyle, who, by the final bell, looked as if he'd been given a boxing lesson and showing much facial damage. In an after-bout interview, both boxers praised one another's ability, and Coyle broke down in tears and stated he had placed all his hopes on winning, but was comforted by Nurse, and both ended up hugging one another. And on that convivial note, we'll end today's KLTV News Bulletin. More top stories next week, when I hope you'll join me again. Remember, you can contact us on any of these stories by email, on Twitter or Facebook. This is Dave Hodgson signing off on behalf of the news desk and crew. Thank you for watching KLTV, and like the song goes, keep on the sunny side of life. Goodbye for now.